All right, we're going to try to speak up so that that can pick us up.
Oh, okay, that's gonna be probably the easiest though.
Yeah. Okay, ready?
We're live.
That's right. We are live from the Turkey Woods, everybody. So things are going to look a little bit different, maybe sound a little bit different. We are using our Zoom, like, p-
P4.
portable
Yeah.
podcaster. This has only been used one other time.
Yeah, it runs on two AA batteries, so we're seeing it. So far it's been pretty good. We'll see how this goes, but we just got to camp, got everything set up. Um, we're a couple hours away from heading out into our what we like to consider a honey hole.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had a lot of success here in this spot. It's where I shot my first turkey.
I shot my first turkey. We've all heard the story of the turkey that wasn't from Kirk and my first experience here.
Yep, that's
And
right.
tomorrow, hopefully, we can replay the better part of those actions.
Yeah, that's right. Hopefully, yeah, we can double up. Our goal is to double up tomorrow, and then on Sunday go watch a new movie on our way back home.
What was the name of that movie?
What was it?
The Covenant.
Yeah, The
The
Covenant. Yeah,
Covenant looks super good.
yeah,
About that action, boss.
yeah. But yeah, no, we're just doing basically a preemptive podcast to our hunt that we're gonna have in the morning, which is gonna happen in like a few hours because we got in like right before midnight,
Yeah.
and it is just about 1 a.m.
Maybe we're gonna sit by a
It's
tree and
already Saturday.
start scratching it. Um, the cool thing is, we pretty much got them triangulated. You know, right when you, I guess I don't want to say things like that. When you think you have them triangulated, they
They're
do the
not there.
yeah. But
Yeah, it's
everything looked
pretty
good
funny.
coming in the dark. So all we can do is hope for the best. We're going to record a little bit each day, and then we're going to uh, run this thing together and mix it with some of the hunt action. So you'll be able to see the days as they go by and how things are going on.
Yeah, definitely. Well, a recap from what happened last weekend. So last weekend was the opening general season, and I took our friend Mike Peterson out. It was his first time ever turkey hunting. Um, Number one, he had like a 12 gauge shotgun with like a defense barrel on
Little stub nose. Was he going to kick in the turkey's door?
it. Yeah, I was like, dude, that's a really small barrel. Um,
He's been watching Elmer Fudd go around town.
well, I don't think he knew. Like, I don't think he knew because he was like, oh, we'll just pattern it and figure it out, blah blah blah. So we actually did take a shot. And it needs to be within 25 yards because his spread was just,
Massive.
yeah, really big. So I was like, all right, now it's at 30 yards. So I was like, if we can get him in pretty close, which we can, you'll be fine.
So
Not a big deal.
so what are you running? What kind of gun are you running?
Oh, Benelli Nova.
Benelli Nova.
Yeah. 12 gauge. I
Nice.
use 3 inch.
So I had a Benelli SBE2, and I've had it for many years. That's what I'm using. I don't shoot 3-inch shells out of there. I could, but I went to 3.5s one time,
Oh, I have those
and
too, but I don't know if I want to shoot them.
it's way, it's a lot. Put it that way.
Well, the 3 inches are a lot. So like, yeah, I don't know. I've shot 3.5 inch before, and I was just like, dang, that kicks like a mule.
Yeah.
But
Well,
really, it's like one shot.
in the
I'm not just blasting away.
yeah, it could be. Yeah, I mean, you only got to pull the trigger once if you're on there.
Yeah.
Um, I decided to go down to 2 3/4 because I'm like,
Hey
hey, this
man,
thing, I
whatever.
got 3 shots, buck, 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 and
No
that
problem.
that thing cycles fast, and three in a row is pretty good. If they're
Yeah,
out of
yeah.
range, they're out of range, But I'm trying not to get them out of range. So
Yeah.
we'll check in again tomorrow. We should have hopefully some good footage tomorrow. I mean, the weather, it's clear skies, it's not too cold. It's beautiful. There's a million stars out, so tomorrow we'll
Yeah,
get to
tomorrow's
it.
probably gonna be really nice. Be able to actually use the my big camera. Which last weekend I wasn't really able to use it too much because it was like sprinkling almost the whole time. So it was pretty much all GoPro and my cell phone, which still can do some pretty good footage. So, but yeah, this weekend it just feels good to be in the turkey woods. So
It does. It's exciting. If I know this place like I think I do, right about 6 a.m. they're going to be gobbling right down that way.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
all right,
They're going to be gobbling down over here, but we're going over there.
cut them off before they get back to wherever they're migrating to. We're going to nail them. Okay, well, let's check out. Let's hit the rack and check
That's
in
right.
tomorrow.
All right, everybody. Have a good one.
It's recording now.
All right. Oh, there we go. All right, everybody. Welcome back. This is part 2 of our turkey hunt. And this is actually Dave's first day turkey hunting for the season.
Yeah, last week Dave went out with Mike.
Yep.
And I was going to go hunt for some easterns, but instead I went plunking for some spring Chinook. You know, that was a good time. I mean, I actually started to really enjoy plunking. I guess I call it plunk fishing. So plunking is a style of fishing for salmon, and it's really fun because you can just kick back and relax, almost like lake fishing for trout.
Oh,
You just
nice.
cast your line out and make sure everything's going well in there with your plug or whatever bait you're using, and then you just sit back and talk with your friends. I brought the solo stove out. We had a little bonfire on the riverbank.
Nice.
This guy next to us came over and we were just BSing for 7 or 8 hours, and the stove dies down. It cools off quick. You dump out this little tiny palm full of ashes. I mean, it burns clean. I mean, it literally, there's no ashes left, and then you just hit the road. And that's what I did the last weekend. So I just waited for this opportunity because I knew we were coming to this spot.
Yep, that's right. This is our secret squirrel spot, and man, did it produce.
It produced in a major way. So, full disclosure, we almost got 3 turkeys today.
It was, oh my god, it was.
I could have shot 2. I could have shot my second one,
So-
but we had a plan.
Yeah, Dave really could have took a shot on a bird that was coming up that we were hoping would have kept on coming, because right behind him was like the Mac Daddy of the frickin' turkey woods. He had a rope for a beard, and the thing was dragging on the ground. Like it was really really big.
If it wasn't on the ground, it was a half inch above the ground.
Yeah.
It was almost. It was touching the grass for sure. I mean, it was. It wasn't a very clean beard.
It was dragging.
Yeah, it was close.
But but before all that,
Yeah,
this morning was absolutely on fire.
It was epic.
Yeah,
It was an all-time hunt this morning. I couldn't believe what happened. We did get a lot of it on film. Uh, we took our normal route. Then we heard them gobbling from our tent. You know, they're gobbling
yeah,
first thing in the morning, and in 7 directions. They're everywhere gobbling. We made a plan. We knew where we were gonna go, and we got to the spot. And the spot that I shot this bird in is a spot we talked about on like podcast 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, like all of them, where I didn't take a shot at a bird, and I shot this bird in that same spot. And this bird took the same route that big tom took to come in, that I didn't shoot in years past. But today I was prepared. When I heard the drumming, I knew what it was, and I knew which direction he was coming from, and I got positioned. And when he came up, he fanned right away. I had a small opening, like I could have shot, but there was like a little stump that might have blocked a lot of the shot. So he closed his fan. He stepped up about 3 or 4 more feet wide in the open, put his fan back out, and I said, "Good night."
and I got all that on film.
Yeah,
Like, it happened within like 15 seconds. It
yeah,
was like, in Dave's mind, and probably even in my mind, it was like kind of slow motion. But when I played it back, I was like, holy crap, that was like perfect timing, because I actually didn't know which way the turkey was coming up, because I was like another 25 yards back behind.
and uphill.
Yeah, and uphill. And I was focused on looking through my camera, trying to get the film. And all of a sudden, I heard the last drum, and I was like, that is not where my camera's pointing. So it kind of pans to the right, and I just get it fanning, and it closes, and then takes a couple steps, and I'm just zooming into it, and it fans open again, and then boom, we got it on film. It was the coolest thing.
Sideswiped.
Yeah, it was the coolest thing ever, because I was
Yeah,
calling it, and it was straight beeline and like right for me. It was coming straight for me. Had no idea Sandana was off to its right, and he just got sideswiped, and it seriously backflipped through the air.
yeah. It was great the way it all came together. I mean, I don't think you could write a script. I mean, I think everybody might say that when they have a successful hunt.
But
And
this is a little bit different. So we're hunting these turkeys on the side of a ridge. So it's it's like a big old dragon spine that kind of does like this, almost like a J shape, if you were to walk the whole thing out, and it goes up in elevation as you go. We're not hunting these turkeys behind blinds or anything like that. So it's more or less, we hear the tom gobble, we do a setup, we try to call them in, or we end up closing the distance on them and still call them in and bring them the rest of the way up. This was, we both looked at each other, we kind of knew that this tom was either on the private property that's below us, or it's kind of in between, just because of how the gobble was. And we both looked at each other and was like, all right, well, there's an opening up here. Let's just get to this opening. Let's drop in there and just see what happens. Well, as we're calling, it took a while, but this tom started coming closer and closer and closer and closer, and finally, bam.
and there was another one behind him, down a little ways.
Yeah.
So the private land we're talking about, it's not like we're on a fence line next to some farm field.
No.
We're hundreds of yards up a mountain,
Mm-hmm.
and these valleys that gobbles they just echo. So you can't tell if it's across the valley. Like we called one last year, and it was actually across the valley, and it sounded like it was right on our side.
Yeah, it sounded super close, and then but as we got to the opening, we could actually glass over and see the birds. Like, oh, okay, those things are long ways away,
300 yards across the valley, and
yeah.
So it's not private land like you would think. It's just privately owned properties in between these state lands. This is state public land. Anybody can hunt here.
Yep.
So if you have a shotgun, a way to get here, and some sleeping preparations, you can come hunt here, and there's nothing holding you back.
Yeah.
So we're hunting the state land, but there are private properties, mainly just homeowners with 20-acre lots and some larger, but nothing really substantial close to us, and there's nothing stopping the turkeys from freely roaming around.
Yeah, yep, very true. And that's what happened today. We were able to call this Tom up. We don't know if he was on private property. It just, the sound came from that area. But it came right up. Dave put a freaking perfect shot on it. Thing backflipped through the air and tag
And we got
notched.
a couple angle shots too, which is nice.
Yeah.
Our second, we came back to camp, got everything situated. You know,
Prepared the bird.
I had watched a video on the Meat Eater TV on Netflix. I was preparing for today. Yesterday, I was like, it was a Thursday night. I was watching. I was like, I'm gonna watch this turkey special because they usually do something cool. And they were hunting in like South Carolina or something, and they actually skinned the turkey like a deer. You know, they started with the neck, they pulled the feather in the skin downward. So that's what we did today, and we were able to just skin the whole bird, cut all the meat off basically, and have just this little carcass with the intestines still in it that we chucked, and everything else came off. And it was pretty clean. It wasn't like there was no big mess, and it was pretty simple.